The first question is, do you have any biases towards LGBTQIA++ community?
偏見應該冇咁印象應該又唔會有太多咯。
我少啲成見咯。
Well, I don't have any biases like towards them, but then
我覺得我對最多成見應該係 towards 直男咯，得唔得？
at the same time I do assume that I have a bias, like because like let's say I'm part of it, so like I do feel like I have some sort of bias towards them.
How do you usually determine one's sexual orientation? Like from their physical appearance, their body gesture, their voice, or stuff like that?
Kind of look for signs for them, so based on their appearance and whatnot and their behaviors.
呢啲配飾上嘅嘢，身體動作，例如可能有啲人咁樣即係男仔咁樣。
Honestly, it's their own business. If they tell me, then okay, cool. Otherwise, it's like asking someone's weight. Like I don't really need to know someone's weight or someone's sexuality or whatever. It doesn't really concern me.
咁有冇認真思考過呢個問題？好。
You can dress feminine without actually needing to be like, you can still be heterosexual and be completely like straight or whatever else and still dress feminine. That's perfectly okay.
The next question will show you some pictures of different people and would like to ask you if you think they are queer.
Yeah, I mean like I think probably they belong to like the BDSM community.
但係唔知喎，咁有可能佢純粹係玩開啲 kinky 啲嘅嘢，可能佢係唔知喎，BDSM 啫中意。
唔覺，完全唔覺，係一個普通正常嘅衣着。唔係咯，但係會個感覺會係一個佢幾中意飾物啊，同埋一個中意 colourful 嘅嘢。
呢個點講咧？其實平時做 show 都有啦。即係我睇，我唔會即刻諗到你係咪基或者係其他咩，我唔會咯。
Yeah. Honestly, what I would think is that this person is queer, but then on a second thought, it might just be makeup.
Someone said queer people must get AIDS eventually. It's just a matter of time. Do you think it's true?
Anal sex has a high probability of transmitting AIDS. That's why in general, male to male has more. There's a higher chance of HIV spreading out.
Probably not.
我覺得食肉就會有 cancer 咯，呢個係比較 certain 的事啊。
其實性生活或者都會有性病，即係 for everyone 咯，就唔會話有個小眾或者咩咯。
呢一句嘢係咪都係有啲 problematic 嘅 presumption 喺入面咧？
冇 logic 咯。
冇 logic。
Do you think that queers are something Western and new that did not exist in the ancient or Eastern world?
我覺得呢樣嘢唔係話邊個發明啦，係可能係真係有啲人係會真係會中意同性或者兩邊都會中意，而冇話分東西方咯。
我有個 friend 佢隻狗係男仔嚟嘅，但係佢見到啲男仔狗會摁咯，但係佢見到女仔嘅狗係會行開咯。即係其實呢個係物種，其實每個物種可能都會有。
No, I think it's something that exists universally.
嗰個社會裏邊夠唔夠膽講呢件事出嚟咯？即係。
I think it definitely did exist before. Like there were tales about how the emperor has like the favorite like male concubine or whatnot.
Normally I'll first think of Western people. But then after coming to Hong Kong, after I got to interact with people, I realized that there are also queer people here as well.
Do you think all individuals in the LGBTQIA+ community loves to have sex?
Oh, definitely not.
Definitely not. Definitely like there are so many sexual orientations, like yeah, asexuality, like aromantics and things like that. So we shouldn't discount that.
我覺得中唔中意性行為呢樣嘢係真係睇下你個人喜好嘅啫喎，唔係你係某個類別嘅人士就特別中意㗎嘛。
Do you agree that queers could go to the toilets that they are comfortable with based on their willing? So for like transgender people?
I do agree, but then I don't totally agree. Because it might, if there is a particular like toilet for like male and female can just go to those restrooms, then queer people can just go there. But then if me a female, if I'm in the washroom and then a male suddenly enters, and I'm like, I'll feel really uncomfortable.
唔得，點解嘅？
人哋唔會認得出佢係男仔或者女仔。
哦，因為人哋都會覺得佢係男仔，就會有少少點解佢係女自己？係咪會有啲驚？
某啲國家啦或者地區啦，可能會整一啲無性別嘅廁所嘅。咁但係如果你話喺香港或者亞洲地區嚟講，我覺得就比較少啲咯。即係
To be honest, why don't we just do like non-binary toilets or whatever else, or just like a toilet where you just go like at home? Do you really have a toilet that's just for men and just for women? No, it's just a toilet. This is a toilet.
From the interview, we could see that different people with different views toward the LGBT community, and there are some misconceptions that we would like to clarify. Some interviewees said people's body language, body structure, how they speak and how they act could help them to determine one's sexual orientation. In some sense, the interviewees are trying to determine one's sexual orientation based on their gender expression. However, this is not necessarily true and related. For the questions about if the queer will get AIDS eventually, the answer is obvious no, but from the past statistic, queer people do have a higher chance to get AIDS.
From the above interviews, we see that those who are interviewed at HKU are aware that one's appearance or gender performance cannot accurately represent their gender identity, and that queerness may not necessarily stem from Western cultures. However, it is interesting to note their views on gender toilets. Some worry that going to toilets for the opposite sex may cause confusion, while others are more accepting of people having the freedom to go to the toilets that they are more comfortable with. And while there's no right answer to this ongoing debate, we would like to clarify that advocating for the latter viewpoint does not mean that one is ignorant of its potential risks, and rather, we believe that concerns on its appropriateness can be addressed by educating others on the topic, such as sharing with them why we believe that having gender-fluid toilets may contribute towards making our society more inclusive.
As each generation becomes more knowledgeable on what makes up one's identity, more and more people are opening up to the concept of homosexuality and being queer. Near the end of this video, we would like to summarize what we have learned from doing the street interviews and share with you all why we believe gender and sexuality to be important parts of our identities as well.
Our gender and sexuality are made up of several factors, namely sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, and sex characteristics. And these 4 factors can be abbreviated into the acronym CCHU. So to begin with, our sexual orientation refers to the degree in which we are attracted to certain people, as categorized by our gender. Our gender identity refers to the way we view ourselves and our understanding of who we are. Our gender expression refers to the choices we make in performing or demonstrating our gender, such as the way we act, dress, or behave. And finally, sex characteristics refers to what we are born with, and is often associated with our biological sex or assigned sex at birth.
From the interviews we have conducted, it seems that people have this misguided notion of associating the way one dresses or speaks to their sexuality. We would like to emphasize here that while the factors we had previously mentioned regarding the CCHU concepts are independent of each other, they are also interrelated and interconnected to one's sexuality. So a man who chooses to dress nicely or chooses to wear makeup doesn't necessarily have to be gay, and a woman who decides to dress more masculinely doesn't necessarily have to be a lesbian. So clothing, makeup, and hair are all forms of self-expression that anyone can adopt regardless of their gender or sexuality. We believe that one of the most crucial and essential steps in making progress in our society is to not judge and discriminate against those who choose to express themselves in a unique way.
Contrary to the beliefs that only the queer community being only a part of the Western culture, the LGBTQIA+ community actually consists of many others from various ethnic groups. The interviews that we've discovered the issue that it seems to be more difficult for queer people who come from an ethnic minority group or perhaps an Asian background to be open to their gender and sexuality. In certain cultures, these topics are still seen as taboo, and people who belong to those cultures may have yet to be fully accepting of such concepts. As young adults living in Hong Kong, we believe that it's very important to shed light on the stigma and oppression experienced by the LGBTQIA+ community. This is what we aim to do with this video.
In today's world, numerous debates were made on the toilets that are used by transgender or non-binary people. People's views are quite polarized. While some advocate for the use of gender-neutral toilet or the freedom to allow people to go to the toilets they identify themselves as, others fear that some people may feel uncomfortable with this change and that some predators may take advantage of the situation, which may potentially lead to sexual harassment or assault. This issue, alongside many others that we face nowadays, requires compromises and understanding from different standpoints. We are not here today to question or disagree with your opinions, but instead, we simply wanted to show you how views are and can be viewed from other standpoints. By educating yourself with the diversity and nuances with people's identity, you may be able to understand what's really happening in our world.
To conclude, we hope that we have raised your awareness on the discrimination that queer people face, and that after watching our video, you're encouraged to be part of the movement in breaking through the stereotypes that exist about the LGBTQIA+ community. Thank you for watching our video. We hope you have enjoyed it.